Okay, good morning everyone. Ohayo gozaimasu. And thank you for joining MACHIYA Inns and Hotels for our Instagram live stream. It is currently 6:30 a.m. and I am in Kanazawa City. And today, I thought, again, I'd like to show you around the city, but also show you one of our MACHIYA accommodations. Today, it will be a private holiday house. I hope you'll be excited. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for your comments. Ohayo gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. I can see we have a lot of people from Italy, from Hawaii, from the US, and things of that sort. So if you have any questions regarding the city, let me move for a second. There's a car coming. If you have any questions about the city or about the traditional Japanese house that I'm about to show you today, please feel free to leave it in the comments below and I will be sure to mention it or answer it for you. Okay, here we go. So, as I mentioned, I am in downtown Kanazawa, and today we will be showing you a traditional Japanese house. So, what is special about the Japanese holiday house that I'm showing you today? It is actually one of the latest renovated traditional Japanese houses that MACHIYA Inns and Hotels will be opening, and the grand opening is actually tomorrow. So you'll be getting the very first look into this traditional Japanese house, and I hope you're excited. Okay, good morning. I see, yes, it is very early today. It is still 6:30 in the morning, but we have beautiful weather, so when I show you the city later on, I hope it'll look very nice. So, here we go. This is the traditional Japanese house that I will be showing you today. This is Kanata MACHIYA house, and it is part of our private holiday house right here. Hello thank you everyone for your comments. I can see people from Australia and Southern California. Here we are. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. This is, as I said, this is Kanata MACHIYA house, and this is actually, if I scoot back a little bit, you can see that it looks like there are two houses because it is currently now, you have one house here. This is Kanata here. And this is actually another MACHIYA house that we will be opening in the very near future, but not just yet. So I will show you that house very soon. But today I will be going inside of this house here. So as you can see from the exterior, this was once a very, very large MACHIYA house, and it was formerly a merchant's residence, so a place where they their house, and also it was a store, so a type of shop. Now, here's my very first question for everyone. Can you guess what kind of shop do you think this MACHIYA house once was? Do you think it was a kimono shop, a restaurant, maybe a place that sold threads or food? Leave it in the comment below. Let me know. What do you think? What do you think this former MACHIYA house used to be before we renovated? I will let you know the correct answer very soon. So here we go. We're going to go inside now. So this is the inside of the house. Here we are. Okay, so welcome to Kanata MACHIYA house. So as I mentioned, this is one of our latest MACHIYA accommodations, and this is how it looks like from the entrance right here. And for this particular house, up to 6 guests can stay here. The size is 117 meters squared. In feet, it is approximately 1,259 square meters, so it's much larger than most hotel suites right here. And it was actually built in the early Meiji period. So that's going to be around the late 1860s to around 1872. So it's approximately 150 years old. Yeah, I can see some people mentioning the art back here, but I'm actually going to show you that a little bit later. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to actually go upstairs first, and I'm going to show you the upstairs, and then come downstairs and show you the first floor. So, as I mentioned, so this particular Japanese house used to be, or is approximately 150 years old. And when I asked you the question what you thought this former Machiya house used to be, it was actually formerly a tateguya residence. So it was like a carpenter's shop that they used to make shoji doors, so things like this. They would make shoji doors and sliding doors, fusuma, like fittings for doors and windows and things of that sort. So that is what it used to be, but we have now renovated into a traditional Japanese house that you can actually stay in. So our very first room that we will be entering is going to be this one here. I can slide it open. As you can see, this is the Western style bedroom here. So yeah, thank you for your comments, everyone, right here. So our very first room that I'm showing you is going to be the Western style bedroom. You'll see that we have the desk, and also this is a queen size bed that can fit 2 guests comfortably. Another beautiful detail of this particular room is if you slide open the window here, so you do have a view of the atrium just across the way. If I give you a little sneak peek, you can see we have a loft. You can even look down there. Yep. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're just joining me, we are currently inside of the traditional Japanese house named Kanata in Kanazawa. So that was the Western style bedroom over here. And we're going to move along into the loft area right here. So as you can see, we have 2 beautiful pieces of artwork and also sofa seating. If I give you a little close-up of the art right here. So this is actually a piece of art made by a local company here in Kanazawa City, Japan. The name of the shop where we got this art piece is actually called Kami Asakura. So they've actually been in business since 1897 in Kanazawa, and what they do is they make, in addition to art pieces, they actually do a lot of interior design things also, but they make art pieces. If you can see the details, they make art pieces out of washi, so traditional Japanese paper. So that is going to be in the loft area. Yep, right here. Thank you everyone for your comments. I can see someone asking how to make a reservation at this particular Machiya house. So you can make the reservation via our official website. When I post the live archive, I'll be sure to leave all the details in the description box. So right now, currently, I am relaxing on one of the sofas in the loft. So this is kind of the view that you will be able to enjoy right here. Thank you everyone for joining. Arigatou gozaimasu. Right here. So the next room I will be entering will be this one here. So just to give you a heads up, this is going to be another bedroom. But if I swing around over this side, there is another door at the end of the hallway. Can you guess, what do you think is behind that door over there? So I will tell you the answer once I finish showing you the bedroom over here. So here we go. Right here, so this room, if you haven't already guessed, this is actually going to be the Japanese style bedroom right here. So I have one futon tatami set up here. Thank you everyone for joining. Arigatou gozaimasu. So we have one Japanese style bedding laid out here, and I've actually set up the table and the zabuton over here. So you can set it up like this, but if you have more people, like if you have a bigger group staying, then we will be able to set up another futon over here to fit 2 people in this particular room. So, as I mentioned, this particular Japanese house, the size, it is quite spacious. As I mentioned, it is more spacious than many hotel suites. It is going to be 117 meters squared, and if it is in feet, let me just get out the answer. In feet, that is approximately 1,259 feet squared. So it is very spacious. And I do see a couple questions asking about the accommodation fee for this particular house. So the average price for 2 guests, it's will be starting from 85,000 Japanese yen. So that won't be in dollars, but that will be in Japanese yen. So I'm sorry that I'm not able to convert it to all the different currencies. But like I said, this is quite a spacious house. It can fit up to 6 guests, and the accommodation fee will change depending on the season that you book and also how many guests and how many nights you decide to stay. So please take a look at our official website if you would like more details. Okay, so as I mentioned, we will be going into this room next, and I did ask what do you think is behind this door over here. So we just finished taking a look at 2 bedrooms. And yep, so I have some people saying it's a bathroom, a full bath, things of that sort. So let's take a look inside. And so we are on the 2nd floor. So for this particular MACHIYA house, as you can see, we actually have a private sauna up here. And a shower room right here too. So this is just one of the bathrooms in this particular house. There is another bathroom, full bathroom on the 1st floor that I will show you. That does have a bath, but let me just give you a look inside of the sauna. So this particular sauna, this is one of the very first traditional style Japanese houses in Kanazawa City that includes a private sauna. We did actually open another MACHIYA house that has a sauna also. So let me know, are you fans of saunas? Do you regularly go to saunas and enjoy and relax in one? Is it as hot as a Finnish sauna? Yes, I do believe it. The temperature, it does go up to 90 degrees. So it does get quite hot. Let me know, is that as hot as a Finnish sauna? Right here. So like I mentioned, this particular Japanese house does have a sauna for you to enjoy. And right here, before I go downstairs, another important thing, you will have a toilet upstairs for you to use for convenience. And now I'd like to go downstairs to the 1st floor. Here we go. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining me. Currently, we are in Kanazawa City in one of our latest traditional Japanese holiday houses. And if you remember what our 1st floor looked like, this is where we are with the beautiful lighting fixture in the back. So this is actually a light/artwork. So I will show you more details about that. But before we go into that particular Japanese room, we are currently in the dining room/kitchen area. And if you remember from the 2nd floor, this has very, very high ceilings. You can even enjoy, if you look up there, you can actually enjoy and appreciate the original wooden structure of this particular Japanese house. So we've been able to maintain and keep the original structure of this house. So here we are. So we're currently in the dining room. So this also has a very spacious dining room / kitchen area. We have the kitchen island here with the sink. And we have the refrigerator over there. And of course, you have your IH stovetop over here. Toaster, there's a microwave and rice cooker and things of that sort. But another thing we have is this. Do you know what this is on the dining room table? This is actually, so let me grab the remote control here. So this particular house, let me push. This particular house actually has a projector. So if you can see, we have the screen coming down. So if you do decide to stay at this Japanese house, you will be able to enjoy a kind of cinema experience inside of a traditional Japanese house. Using the projector, you can connect it to your YouTube account, Netflix, and you will be able to enjoy that in the MACHIYA house. So here you go. Okay, so lastly, the main feature or the main art piece of this MACHIYA house is going to be this one here. So here you go. I will show you a close-up, but this is actually going to be an original design that the architect who designed this traditional Japanese house they decided to make. So this is actually a lighting feature, but it also functions as an art piece. So what do you think this design represents? Let me know in the comments. What do you think this represents? So let me give you a little close-up right here. So if you can see very closely, this is actually the wall piece here and the lighting fixture. So this is actually going to be a representation. Well, it's up to interpretation, but for the designer, what they imagined was the Hakusan Mountains, so the mountains that kind of surround Kanazawa City. So that is just reminiscent of the nature that surrounds this particular traditional Japanese house. Yes, I can see a couple of comments saying mountains. Yes, you will be correct. So the original designer imagined this to be the mountains right here. So let me just continue. This particular Japanese room, we can fit 2 Japanese style futons comfortably here. So if you, like I said, if you do decide to stay with a larger group of family and friends, you can fit 2 guests up here, 2 guests in the Western style bedroom, and also 2 more guests in the Japanese style the washitsu room up on the 2nd floor right here. Okay. And lastly, we'll be going into this final room over here. And now this one is going to be the 2nd full bathroom. So, like I said, the one upstairs featured a sauna and a shower room, but this one, here we have the sink area, and here we go. So this one has a bathtub that is made out of locally sourced Hinoki wood. So you can see here, if I pan around a bit. Thank you for joining, everyone. Arigatou gozaimasu. Right here. So you even have a little view of the garden where you're relaxing in the bathtub. As I'm currently inside of this particular bathroom, I can actually smell the Hinoki, the fragrance of the Hinoki wood. It's very relaxing and almost like a lemony scent. But I definitely recommend relaxing in this particular Hinoki bathtub if you stay at this traditional Japanese house right here. Okay, so that is going to be the end of the MACHIYA house tour. And before I step out again and give you kind of a tour of the neighborhood and the city, let me just give you one last pan of this particular house. So like I said, this is Kanata. The name of this house is Kanata MACHIYA House. It is part of our private holiday house accommodation brand right here. So I will leave all the details in the description once I upload this particular live to our archives. You can take a look at all the details there, or go ahead and send us a DM or email if you have any questions of how to rent this traditional Japanese house. Maybe, like I said, the grand opening of this house is going to be tomorrow, so we haven't had any guests stay here with us yet, so maybe you will be one of the very first guests that we welcome to this particular Japanese house. Okay, so this is Kanata. Thank you. So now I will be making my way, or our way, I will be making our way outside to show you the neighborhood. Let me just make sure everything is locked. Okay, so if you didn't know, our traditional Japanese houses, we don't need physical keys. You are actually able to enter with a unique PIN number that we change for every single guest. So let me just give you one last look of the exterior right here. And let's make our way towards the Nagamachi Samurai District. So I do see a question asking, how far is it from the nearest train station? So the nearest train station is actually going to be Kanazawa Station. Kanazawa Station, and by bus, it is just 3 bus stops away. So you do have direct access by bus. Yesterday, when we arrived from Kanazawa City to this particular house, it took approximately, I would say, 10 minutes or so, and the buses are pretty frequent, so you do have great access if you stay here. So currently I am in kind of the shopping arcade of this particular area right here, and like I said, I'm making my way towards the Nagamachi Samurai District. But if I were to go in a slightly different direction, you would actually be able to walk directly to the area of Kanazawa Castle, Kendokuen Garden, the 21st Century Museum of Contemporary Art, and kind of a lot of other great sightseeing attractions in that area. But today we are heading towards the Nagamachi Samurai District. So this was an area where former samurai warriors actually lived during feudal Japan. So the area, it's still very, very well preserved. So I am hoping to show you that particular space as we walk. So it will take about maybe about 6-7 minutes just to walk. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of history about Kanazawa City. This area has a lot of great restaurants, so I'll see if I can find any to point out to you. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. Please leave it in the comment section, and I will be sure to answer it as I make my way towards the Samurai District. Other than that, I hope everyone is doing well. Like I said, it is almost 7 a.m. in Japan right now. Temperature-wise, as you can see, we have blue skies. It is getting a little chillier. I do feel as if autumn has arrived, or we do feel like autumn has arrived. So if you do decide to come to Japan this year, whether it's this month or December, January, February, definitely bring a coat. You will need it. Kanazawa, during the winter, you will see snow. This is kind of a snowy area of Japan. Here. Okay. So I'm just going to wait to cross the street. I have a question asking what prefecture is Kanazawa City located in? So, I hope you can hear me, but Kanazawa City is located in Ishikawa Prefecture. So Ishikawa Prefecture is located on the western side of the main island of Japan. We are located very close to the ocean, so we have a lot of great seafood in Kanazawa City. So if you love seafood, you definitely have to make a stop at Kanazawa City during your next visit to Japan. Have any of you ever been to Kanazawa City? Or is this kind of your first time learning about Kanazawa? Let me know in the comments. Sorry, I think we will be able to cross very, very soon. So the area that I will be walking to right now, it is kind of the restaurant dining area. You will see a lot more casual dining and eateries over here. So for example, the sign across the street right now that I'm heading towards, it does say ramen. So if you love ramen, Kanazawa has its own style of ramen, so it's definitely one to take a look at. Okay, I'm reading the comments and I can see someone said that they went in 2018. Some people have been there once. Other people have never been here. I can see someone else also had their language exchange program in Kanazawa City. Great. So you can probably vouch that Kanazawa City is a very beautiful city because it does have the historical area, but you also have a lot of great museums in the area. They do encourage, crafts and art, traditional and modern, both have flourished in the city very much, but there's also a lot of great nature surrounding the city. So if you want to hike the mountains, like I mentioned, the Hakusan Mountains, that is another place that we recommend. There's also a lot of rivers running through the city, so it's very beautiful. It kind of has everything that you would need, and also has great access to and from Tokyo City. Recently, in the last couple of years, they actually created a new train line that connects Tokyo to this, not only Kanazawa, but just kind of like this Hokuriku region, so around like Ishikawa Prefecture and things of that sort. There's actually a Shinkansen that comes directly to this area from Tokyo City now. And for example, for us, yesterday we actually came from Kyoto City. So if you are traveling from Osaka or Kyoto City, you also have direct access. You don't need to switch trains. All we did was we jumped on the train called the Thunderbird, and that took us directly to Kanazawa City. So we definitely recommend visiting the city if you have the chance. And like I said, we do have about 18 traditional Japanese houses that we currently offer our guests here in Kanazawa City. So not only the MACHIYA house that I just showed you, but we do have 18 individual Japanese houses within the city, all within great distance to Kanazawa Station, so you have great access while you're here. Please take a look at our official website, or go ahead and send us a DM or email if you have any questions, or if you want any recommendations on where to stay. Thank you for your comments, everyone. Arigatou gozaimasu. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is having great weather like we are here. As you can see, it's very beautiful blue skies. You can kind of start seeing the walls of the traditional neighborhood that I'm actually planning on showing you. Ooh, someone mentioned a hamburger shop in the area. They must know where we are. Yes, we hope everyone is doing well, and hopefully you are enjoying our Instagram live streams and that it's giving you inspiration on where to stay and where to go during your next trip, or even we hope you're feeling relaxed, enjoying your just a little bit of time with us as we walk around the neighborhood in Japan. So, good morning, everyone. Yes, ohayo gozaimasu. Thank you for joining me right here. So, as you can see, the neighborhood kind of is starting to change a little bit in terms of how the townscape is looking. So, like I mentioned, we are currently making our way towards the Nagamachi Samurai District. And here we are almost there. I can see, so we have a comment for someone saying that they had never been to Japan before, but they would love to one day. Yes, we hope that we are able to welcome you once you do. They're like, Japan is a place that kind of has everything you can imagine, whether it's like great food culture, history, tradition, but of course you have Tokyo with all of its modern buildings and kind of advanced tech places. Hold on, let me see. There's a car over here. So here we go. So right now, as you can see, currently the neighborhood, in terms of how it looks, it has changed quite drastically. Let me just make my way across right here. So let me just show you where we are in relation to the city. So here we go. So currently, this is where we are, in kind of near the Samurai District. You can see that we have a river here, right here. And we are going to just kind of walk around this area, and I will show you. But you can also see that within walking distance, you have kind of the Nishichaiga district, which is a tea district over there. Okay, let me just walk around the police cars just to make sure. Right here. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background regarding the Nagamachi district. So like I said, this is the samurai district, and if you don't know what a samurai is, samurai are Japanese warriors, and they were around during feudal Japan. And this particular area, so this says Nagamachi right here. So this was the area where mid-ranking samurais lived. So because this area is surrounding the Kanazawa castle, so Kanazawa City is a castle town similar to Takayama City where we showed you last time. This is a former castle town, so the town landscape, the way it's been built is it was actually built surrounding the Kanazawa castle, and this was where the mid-ranking, not the lower-ranking and not the higher-ranking samurais, but the mid-ranking samurai warriors actually built their residence. So this is where they would actually live. Right here. So I do have a couple questions regarding, are tourists allowed to enter the samurai residences? I believe there are a couple kind of major or more famous samurai residences still that are still very well preserved, and they do allow you to enter those, so you can still kind of see how the samurai warriors lived. But actually, this particular area, it is still a very local area where local residents still live and work. So when you do come to this area, just be mindful that while it is popular as a sightseeing place, local residents do still live in this area. So let me this car pass by here. So yeah, so you can see that there's also kind of a little canal area here. This is actually used to transport goods. This particular waterway, it was used to transport goods and kind of for fire prevention or when irrigation and things of that sort. So right here, let me pan around. You can see it's a very beautiful morning today. There are not very many people out, but this is how it looks like right now. I'm gonna show you down this street right here. So like I said, this is where former samurai used to live, but also currently many of these are still residential homes right here. And just to give you a little bit more background about Kanazawa, Kanazawa City, they said Kanazawa City started sometime around, or was first built during around the Warring States period. There was actually a sect of Buddhism that set up a religious government kind of in this area. And from then, during the Edo period, Kanazawa City served as kind of the main seat or location of the powerful Maeda clan. They were the second most powerful feudal family in Japan, and so that is why we have the Kanazawa City here and why we have the samurai residences still standing. And fortunately, Kanazawa was similar to Kyoto. Kanazawa was spared from the different wars, and so that is why you're still able to explore and enjoy the historical architecture and the townscape such as this. So I'm making my way just down this street over here, and as you can see, many of these samurai streets, they have immediate turns, and that does have a significance right here. So if you can see here, it doesn't smoothly make a turn, but you have kind of like immediate turns from left to right and left to right. And this is actually a form of defense for the samurai warriors who lived in the area. This was a way to kind of to prevent enemies from doing a surprise attack on them. So that is just one way that they built their town to kind of fit their lifestyle right here. And let me give you another quiz. If you noticed, there are these stones on the corner. There's one over there. Let me see if I can find another one. There's another kind of like larger stone here, and also kind of a larger stone there. Can you guess, what do you think these stones were used for? These have actually been around since feudal Japan, so the samurai warriors actually used them, or people who walked around the neighborhood used them. Can you guess, what was it used for? So let me just give you a look of the area that we're at. So I do see a couple of comments mentioning maybe it's used for horses, signs of corner, sharpening. And so I do believe that they were also used to kind for horses, so to keep them from escaping, but also it was actually used to scrape the snow off of their not shoes but clogs, I guess. So if you can imagine what traditional samurai warriors wore as shoes, as snow would actually get stuck in between the soles of their feet, that's actually what they used to kind of scrape it off. And the name of that stone, there's actually a particular name for the stone, it's called Goppoishi. Okay, so as you can see, like I said, this is an area where many local residents still live. Right here. Right here. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you just a little bit of green in this area. Another thing you may have noticed, let me see if I can give you a shot. You might be wondering, why are the walls so low? Especially right here. So you can see that the walls for the residences, they're all quite low. So you might be wondering, why are the walls so low? It's not great for defense, for as many, the enemy could easily climb over any of the walls. But the reasons why the walls were low for this particular area was they actually wanted to show off the gardens that they had. So you'll notice that for many of the homes, you can see the trees peeking out above the walls over here. So that was by design, and that was so that they can give everyone kind of a glimpse of the beautiful gardens that are hidden behind the walls. Right there. Okay, so let's keep going. So this is the Nagamachi Samurai District, and like I said, or as you probably saw in the live stream, it is within walking distance to the MACHIYA house that we just showed you, so Kanata MACHIYA Holiday House. In addition to this area, you will also be able to make your way, you will be able to walk to Kanazawa City. You could even walk to the main Kanazawa station if you had a little time. It would take a little bit of time. It would take about perhaps 20 minutes or so, but it is doable if you just decide to. Otherwise, Kanazawa City has a great bus system, so you can jump on the local city bus. It kind of goes around in a loop, so it's not confusing at all. You can jump on the Kanazawa loop bus, and it will take you directly from near the house to Kanazawa station. So let me just give you one last final look of the Nagamachi Samurai District over here, and you'll see, so this is the name of the area that we were just at, Nagamachi Bukiyashiki District. You'll see that once I turn the corner here, you're actually kind of in a different world again. So we were just in the former samurai residence neighborhood of Nagamachi, but once you turn the corner here, you're kind of back into the modern world, and you'll have a lot of great places to eat here. There are a lot of great cafes right here, and this is all kind of right along the, let's see if there's water. I don't think there's much water flowing right now, but this is called Seseragi Dori. So you can enjoy a morning walk here if you like. Right here. Yeah, so this is just the neighborhood that I wanted to show you in Kanazawa City today. Like I mentioned, there are still other very many great places to visit in Kanazawa City if you enjoy seafood and want to kind of see an outdoor an outdoor market. There is an outdoor market called Omicho Ichiba, and that is within walking distance from here. It will probably take you approximately 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, under 10 minutes or so if you were to walk there from our current area. But you can also jump on the city bus to go to Omicho Market. So that's another great place to visit. But also Kanazawa City has a lot of great museums. Kanazawa Castle, like I mentioned, and Kenrokuen Garden, which is considered to be one of the 3 great Japanese gardens of Japan. So I do recommend going. Right here. So this is just going to be the end of our tour today. Thank you again for joining me. Like I said, today's live stream was from Kanazawa City and the MACHIYA house that I showed you earlier on in the live. The name of the MACHIYA house was Kanata MACHIYA Holiday House, and it is part of MACHIYA Inns and Hotels private Japanese holiday house brand. So if you would like to stay there with us, we hope to be able to welcome you. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. I know that many people woke up early to join us on our live, but also some people stayed up very late to join us on our live. Thank you so much. It was a beautiful morning today. I hope you all have a great day or a great night. Thank you again for joining me. We will have our next Instagram live tour probably in about another 2 weeks time. So we've been doing these currently every 2 weeks. We might do it from Kyoto City next time. Hopefully the leaves will be turning into their fall colors. So we hope to be able to show you that again next time. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Have a good night. We'll see you next time during the tour. Thank you. ありがとうございます。